Brandpod is the first solution and the only solution on the market right now. I know that we're going to get copycats and that's bound to happen. But right now, we are the only solution, only platform on the market that does what PR agencies are doing at scale for the individual founder with like a crazy fraction of a price tag. And if you're an agency yourself and you're a marketing agency and you want to start offering more of those PR services, there has never been a better time than right now. And that's what Brandpod allows you to do. Okay. So with all the automations, the cool thing is that you can get clients and you can start turning on these automations for them if you decide to do it. If you're here because you want to get your own message out and you want to get yourself on podcasts, this is going to show you how to do that as well. Cool. You guys excited? Yay. Okay, awesome. So with that, the first thing we're gonna do, and Maha, I'll let you share your screen. Actually, you know what? Before you even do that, before you do that, hang on a minute. Let me share my screen. Give me a second here. Let me just show you what we're even going to be doing. Let me just share my screen really quick. There. Oh my gosh, everyone disappeared. Hang on. Give me a second. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, awesome. Oh, I just realized, Kunal, do you need me to put on my AirPods? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, let me know if the sound starts to echo or something like that. Okay, so we're going to show you all these cool things about automations. You're going to be able to do semi-automated, fully automated, all of those things. Let me show you what that actually looks like. What does that mean? Right? So in your pipeline or in my pipeline, you'll see all of the different things that it sent out when it was on fully automated mode last week. Okay, I can control whether I only want to reach out to podcasts. Right now, it's just for podcasts. We are going to be moving on to publications and events next, but today is all about podcasts. So I can actually choose and tell my agents, I want you to only target, my strong fit podcast, or I also want you to target my moderate fit podcast, right? So when you go into your podcast, by the way, anyone here not have a set up Brandpod account? Like you're like, I don't even have an account right now. Where's my chat? Give me a second. I lost my chat. I can't find my chat anymore. Hold on. I lost my chat. Oh, there it is. Okay. Too many screens, and I love that Zoom always messes with me when it comes to when I share my screen, everything goes everywhere. Okay, there we go. All right, great. My screen sharing is so large now. Okay, great. Yeah, by the way, if anyone needs to zoom in, if you go to the screen on top of your Zoom, you can actually zoom in yourself. So if this is too small on your screen, you can do that yourself. If you need help, just put in the chat. Maha will be able to walk you through it. Okay. And then Alan, you don't have a Brandpod account. Do you have a free account at least? We had emails going out this week letting you know that you should have a Brandpod account and you should have gone through the Story GPT. Okay, did you go through the Story GPT and plug that into your deep research agents? Haven't done anything with it. Okay, so you won't be able to follow along, Alan, but you'll be able to, like, you won't be able to work with us. That was the prerequisite for this because you do want your research agents to have run. They take 3 to 4 hours to run. So you won't be able to get that done on this call. You'll also need at least an hour. Some of our users, like I know Sonia, you spent like 3 hours plus with the Story GPT. So that really pulls out, that does again what a PR agency or a branding agency would do for you typically. The first thing when you hire an agency is they're going to send you a bunch of forms, or depending on how they do it, they'll book an onboarding call with you. That call is spent just extracting what makes you unique in your market. Okay, personal branding is all about what makes you unique, what makes you different from all the other experts. Doesn't matter how long they've been around or how long you've been around. You really want to make sure that you're not competing on price. You're competing on unique value. And that's what the Story GPT captures. It captures your unique value. It captures your unique experiences, your expertise, your story, all the things that are going to turn you into a thought leader that you can then take as messaging onto your podcasts and stage events and wherever you start getting featured. But before you get featured, you need to get really, really clear on your story, on your why, on your messaging. And so that's why you needed to do the story GPT before this session. But this is being recorded, so we'll send this out so you have time to catch up later. Just keep in mind that you won't be able to work alongside us as we do this because you don't have the story GPT thing done. That said,
Ruheene, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but
no
the
worries.
the story GPT is that the Kaya by Kunal? Is
Kaya by
that
Kunal, is that what it says? What? It's not by Kunal, it's by me. Hey.
what?
I,
It
Oh,
does. It's on Kunal's AI account. So
it
it
is by
comes
me.
up as,
It is
yeah,
by me.
yeah. Sorry, Ruheen, you just get completely like
I
written
do the
off.
work, and then everyone, like Dominic, just looks at Kunal when they talk, just because they think he's the guy that does everything.
It
I
does
just
say
sit here with
Kunal
my
Jara is the
sunglasses on,
dev.
look pretty.
yeah. So it's the one that says Kaya and it's
Yeah,
by Kunal. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it
I
is
just
by
want to
Kunal.
make
That's
sure.
correct.
Okay. Just checking. Thanks.
that's the only part he hears right now. But yes, that's the right one, Don.
Okay.
Yeah, we are, by the way, building the whole thing into Brandpod itself, so it's not going to say by Kunal. It won't say by me either, but yeah, it's just going to be a Brandpod thing. But we are building it all into Brandpod. By the way, we are also getting rid of the survey. So just something to keep in mind. We're going to get rid of the survey because really the agents are taking your entire conversation from the chat and using that to run your agents. So the survey is going to get redundant. The whole chat is going to be, for those of you that are doing this with clients, the whole chat is going to be built into Brandpod itself. Okay. All right, so in here, you're gonna see I have some weak fits, right? So this is basically pulled in, it does the research for me and it pulls in like the top 30-ish. The number varies every week, but it will pull in about 30-ish podcasts each week for me based on what is trending in my industry with my target audience, specifically on iTunes. That's just something to keep in mind. So it's pulling these in for me each week, and it's going to show me whether the agents, based on this story, right, based on all the things that we share with the story GPT, whether it thinks these podcasts are a strong fit, whether it thinks, okay, right now I'm missing some here. They're usually a list of 30. I don't know why there's only 5 right now. Maha, you probably know because I know you've been testing this. But anyway, so right now there aren't any moderate fits, but usually you'll see a mix, and most of them are going to be strong fits and moderate fits. And then occasionally you'll see a weak fit podcast pop up here or there. So it's really up to you. Do you want to be like careful and only start with I highly recommend just reaching out to strong and moderate fit. It's up to you if you want to also reach out to your weak fit podcast just to cast a wider net and increase your chances of starting to get featured sooner and then start to scale it back. Right? If you're a coach Kevin, you'll just turn them all on and go fully automated and still run with it. And then you have to have the personality too, which Coach Kevin does. And then he gets on these calls and he charms everyone and he gets on podcast. That's how he does it. So I'm in awe, in case you can't tell. So that's how you're gonna decide though, whether you're gonna go fully automated or semi-automated, right? Semi-automated means it will automatically draft the pitches for you and put them in your mailbox for you. And then you'll need to come in and just approve the drafts and send them out. And then your follow-up window gets triggered when that email is actually sent out. Or if you want to be completely hands-off, it will find the research agents will find the podcast for you, hand that over to your automation agents, and if you have it on fully automated, it will send the pitch for you. It will wait to see if you get a reply in the window that you specify in your settings. We're going to go over all of that. And if you get a reply, it's going to send you an email to your user email, not just to this email, but to your actual user email, whatever you signed up for Brandpod with, to let you know that you got a response. If you don't get a reply within, again, your specified time frame, you get to tell the agents wait for 7 days, 5 days, whatever that may be. And if you don't hear back in that time, send them a follow up. Okay. And again, these pitches, these follow ups are written very, very specifically based on how agencies have been doing this for many years. This is not like, hey, ChatGPT, can you write me a bunch of emails and follow ups? This is going to be different, and it's going to be different from any other agents or any other AI stuff that you see out there. And this is validated by actual podcast hosts who see our emails, and they always tell me that they wake up to so many ChatGPT written pitches in their inbox every single day, and they just go archive, 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 archive. They can tell when something is just ChatGPT written, but we've also had it validated, and especially from the most recent one was Coach Kevin and getting on this podcast host. with this African American lady who's a podcast host and does it for African American women, who basically said that your email was so thoughtful that I wanted to get on this call with you. Right, Bernadette? Is that pretty much how it happened? Okay. All right. I want to make sure that I'm not making up any facts here. But yes, so if you're in semi-automated, it will put the drafts in here and will only trigger your follow-up window when you send that email. If you're in fully automated, it will send the pitch, it will send the follow-up if you don't hear back in a certain amount of time. It'll follow up a couple of times. It'll follow up actually 3 times before it puts that opportunity in a longer nurture mode. And you'll be able to see what that looks like at any time in your outreach tracking opportunity pipeline. Right? So right now I have these that automatically went out, but then I switched it late last week or earlier this week. I can't remember. I think it's been almost a week since I've had it on semi-automated now because I wanted to stop it so that I could start to look at some of these emails and show you how easy it is to come in here, look at my drafts and send them out. Okay? So you guys excited? Still with me? Can I get a bunch of ones in the chat just to make sure that you're still with me and that I haven't lost you yet? Oh, Kanal's at least with us. That's good. Kanal put a 1 in. Bunch of ones. Thanks, Mark. Okay, you're always still with me. Awesome. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to tell you it is going to be the most boring part of this entire thing, but we are going to do it because this is the part that makes everything else work. Anybody, any guesses on what that is?
Email setup.
Email setup, domain setup. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So it's a bunch of copying and pasting DNS records, which I know we all love to do as marketers. Favorite thing ever, but we're going to get it done and then we're going to see how beautifully everything else works. So with that, for those of you that were with us at the town hall last week, you've already got it done, right? So you can just hold on and just make sure that everything's, your domain is still on and looking good in your settings. But Maha, why don't I let you take over? So where you want to go, by the way, since I still have my screen showing, go to settings and you want to go to domain over here. You guys see this? For those of you that have already done this because you were at our town hall last week, I'm going to let you get a little bit ahead and go ahead and put your email signature in here under general. It now supports images, which it didn't do last week. So if you want to go ahead and update your signature here and make sure your settings over here look good, whether you want to go in first person or third person, go ahead and do that and jump ahead and make sure you have all that set up. Yeah, we'll still have today's town hall. It's going to be a quick one, and we're just going to talk about the same stuff. So if you're already here, you don't necessarily need to be there. We just wanted to have the town hall for anybody who didn't get the memo about this workshop and still wants to know what's new in their accounts today, because we just released this live in everyone's accounts this morning. Okay, so Maha, you ready to go? Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So if you navigate to domain, you'll just start to, I can't find the stop share, hold on. Too many screens. If you navigate there, just get started, just follow the instructions, copy and paste all the DNS records into wherever you have your domain. Maha's gonna share her screen and just walk you through it in case you're a little bit like nervous about doing all this DNS record stuff. For those of you that have been with heyLevi for a while, you guys remember the days before they had the one-click domain import, you had to physically copy and paste all the records in there. This is V1 for us, so bear with us. This is going to be a lot of that again. It's just copying and pasting. We will eventually get to the one-click setup as well. But for today, we're just going to have you copy and paste the records in. If you get stuck anywhere, let us know. Sonia, you have a question?
Quick question. So Donna has nomorestudy.com, mail.nomorestudy.com in heyLevi. So can I still use No More Study, but then maybe say,
Different subdomain.
podcast? So I can still create another subdomain under that same root directory or domain.
Yeah. You'll definitely want to create a separate subdomain. As long as it's a separate subdomain, it's okay if you're using the same root domain. Just make sure it's not the same subdomain that you have connected anywhere else. Mailgun, heyLevi, any other platform. You want to make sure you're not using it somewhere else. It will break that connection. Okay. Also, something to keep in mind is if you have a we've been talking about personal websites, personal brand websites. If you have a domain that you're using for your personal brand website, you could use a subdomain on that website as well. So for example, my account is set to ruheene.com. Okay, that is my personal brand website. And so my subdomain for my emails in Brandpod is set to mail.ruheene.com. That way I can make sure that I'm not overwriting anything that's in high level, which uses brandpod.ai. Or I think mail.brandpod.ai, whatever the subdomain is. So that's an option as well. But if you really want to use your business domain, that's totally fine. Just make sure that you're not like gonna accidentally overwrite it because it's somewhere else, or you're gonna accidentally overwrite it after this on some other platform. That's the only thing. Also, don't use you can't use your naked. We actually made it so that you can't actually use your root. I guess I shouldn't say naked when I can use root. But you shouldn't be using your root domain. You want to use a subdomain. Because I know we've had that question come up before. Sonia, you still have a question? Okay. All right. Yes, Kiri, my brain is interesting sometimes. Keeps me
Welcome.
on my toes.
Welcome to the interesting brain world. It's all good.
All right. So yeah, Maha's gonna walk you through what she's doing here. Maha, do you want to talk through this or do you want me to talk through it?
Yep. I mean, I can. It's
Yeah.
fine. So I just added a subdomain. It's a test domain and then my root domain. And this is how it would show when I'm sending the emails. So I can change it to something better like outreach. And this is what it would send it with. And then the reply to would be reply dot whatever my sending domain is. So I'm just going to click continue.
So Sonia asked a really good question while you're doing that too, Maha. Suggestions on subdomain. So don't use reply because it is going to append reply dot to whatever you're doing. So the example I gave you that I was using is Ruheene.com. So my subdomain is mail.ruheene.com. And when I reply, it automatically appends reply. So it's reply.mail.ruheene.com. I don't think you want reply.reply.ruheene.com, right? So anything but reply. Also, I think Sonia, you were asking about like podcast dot. I wouldn't put something that specific either because you are going to be using this eventually for events and other opportunities. So if you're using your personal website, your personal domain, just do mail dot or email dot or outreach dot, whatever works for you. Hopefully that helps.
Can it even just be like an initial like M? Like I've seen people do like M dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that as well. Yeah.
Just to make it shorter, because if it's a pending reply dot, like my thought is to just do something a little shorter.
Yeah. As long as you don't have that set up anywhere else. I actually love that idea.
Cool.
Yep, so this is the first screen that you would see where you would need to add all the details here. I have this open in a split screen so that it's easier to copy paste. Just going to quickly add this. This is the type, and then just add the type here. And then make sure your proxy's turned off. It says so here as well in the alert, but Cloudflare does that automatically.
For those of you that are following along, let us know at all if you get lost at any point. I know that the copying and pasting can be tricky. Also, keep in mind that you would just want to I know we're talking at you constantly, but just make sure you are aware of which step you're on because there's no visual, it's not going to show you once one is done unless you run the check, right? So just make sure you're aware of where you are on the list.
Sonia, you had a question?
Yeah, so I'm in GoDaddy, so I just want to make sure we have the name and the value. So the name is the one that says name. Okay, I never mind.
Yep.
Answer my own question. But then we do
Yeah,
have to
and
add.
GoDaddy works just as well. I will say that GoDaddy usually takes longer to populate,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
propagate, I guess is the right word. So just keep that in mind. When
Okay.
Coach Kevin was doing this with us at the beta testing group, like he was the only one on GoDaddy and his took forever. Cloudflare is a lot faster.
Oops.
Ruheene, will you be making this part of the presentation available via recording for training purposes?
So this recording for the entire workshop is going to be uploaded for you guys and sent out. I'm going to say by Monday because it's the weekend and Maha's like it's already Friday night for her in the UK. So she'll get it out to you on Monday. But we are going to do smaller videos like this to put on our YouTube channel as well. So you'll be able to refer to that at any time.
Okay, so it will come via an email, is that it?
Yes, this recording will come to you by Monday.
Great, thanks.
Okay,
You're
so I've
welcome.
added the first four records, and only then, after I'm done with it, should I click I've added these records. I will add these, and then this is the reply record. I'll just add this one here real quick as well. This is the name, value, and then the priority. Okay, I'll click save. And then the last one. Okay, we're done with all of these, and now we wait. It was done in a second.
I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, so hopefully that means that you guys are all good. You're all being able to copy and paste it and not getting stuck anywhere.
Yep, and this is the last step. You just need to add your from name, from email, and this is how it would look like. So the preview will show that the recipients would see your name, plus this is the email. My email looks really long, but doesn't matter. And this is the reply to email. And I'm just going to click create sender. And we're done. If anybody has any questions, I can redo the process.
Yeah, it's really straightforward. It's just copying and pasting, guys. So if you're stuck, let us know. Once you have your domain set up, put in, I don't know, any emoji of your choice in the chat. This is, I promise, the most boring and the most like manual part of this whole automation workshop.
I do have a question actually.
Yeah.
With this capability here for the sending domain, and the details here and I might have missed it because there was a blip there where I wasn't around, but if we're able to do this from Brandpod for the sending domain piece, are we also able to set up our personal website from here with our domain now, rather than masking from GHL? You remember how we were doing that?
Yeah,
Yes,
not yet.
that's coming soon. That's coming soon, not yet.
Just out loud, just kunal, just cute. Thanks. Okay, bye.
It's coming soon. We were trying to get all of that out to you guys today. I will say that we have had a little bit of a hiccup with one of our senior dev team members facing a personal family emergency this week. So bear with us. We're trying to get you guys everything by next week, whatever we couldn't get to you. But with that, our other developer did sneak in a little Easter egg for you. So we do have a surprise at the end of this. So don't go anywhere until the end of this. We have a surprise for you guys. It's
To
Ruheene,
be
just not the personal
to
brand
be
website.
perfectly clear, I am like never complaining with the amount. Like, you guys are focusing on this workshop and like you're already over delivering on this workshop. I just so happened as we're doing the DNS stuff, I'm like, hang on, can we do
No, that's
this?
it's a really good question, and it's absolutely coming.
Ruheene, quick question,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I was still copying and pasting when Maha was talking. So from the from email, what did she say, or what are we supposed to do there? I'm on the sender identity.
Oh yeah, let me.
Okay.
So from name and then
Yep.
from email, you can just add whatever you want, and could be Sonia at subdomain dot domain dot
Okay.
com.
Um, this is for my
Mine just
client.
says,
What
yeah,
yours just says hello?
yeah,
Okay, I'll say hello. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. So basically we had like don't quote me on like 4 CNAME records, um, an MX
Yep,
record, 2 TX records, right?
yep.
Something like that, right? Okay.
These 6 records are the ones that I just added. So
Okay.
cname till txt are the ones
Okay.
that I just added.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
For anyone missing Taha this week, he's just out on his honeymoon. He's live and well in the Maldives with his new wife.
He looks too young to be married.
We will let him know that. I'm sure he'll be
I'm
thrilled.
trying to get brownie points.
Yes.
And just a quick note that you can have one domain at a time. So here I have one, but if I want to delete this one, or maybe I accidentally deleted it, I can always reactivate whichever one I want to use again. So I'm just going to reactivate the one that I just created, add the sender identity again, and I have my domain back.
Yeah, and that ties in also with what you were saying, Key. Right now, it will just allow you to put one domain, and this is specifically for your emails. This domain is specifically what's going to get attached to your mailbox, right? So we will have the ability to have more than one. We'll have, the ability to add in domains for your personal brand website and your brand magnets, and all of that is coming. All right.
Amazing. Like
I'm not
it's
seeing any.
apparent. What I was gonna say, Ruheen, is that it's like readily apparent how one-stop shop you're making everything. So I have no doubt, like when any one of us kind of shouts out, like, "Hey, is this gonna be possible?" Like you've already thought about it. It's already on a plan somewhere. Like anyway, just thanks, you guys. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys saying that. Also, we've actually had a lot of. I'm seeing the chat right now. So just so you guys know, Maha's a COO. We're trying to give her that title and she's not taking it just yet because she's also trying to balance like going to school on the side. So we're trying to like send her that title. She is very far from being my assistant. She is, yeah. She tells me what's going on, not the other way around. That being said, I am looking for a new assistant, so that's a whole different other conversation. But yeah, Maha's pretty much running the show right now, guys.
She's graduated because at one point, right? Like at one point she was, and like
Very long time ago.
that's what I mean. But like, what I was at HQ a while ago. Anyways, well done, Maha.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not seeing any emojis in the chat, which is worrying me because I don't know if that means that you guys are just stuck. You guys have given up. You're watching Netflix on the side, maybe? Sonia, you have a
I
question?
have questions. Sorry, I'm trying to be superwoman here. I'm doing mine and Donna. So I'm on Cloudflare and I'm doing the TXT record and I only see the name. Where is the value? Oh, no, no. TXT is just the value. Wait, I'm confused. I'm
You want to
seeing
share
on
your
the,
screen?
yeah, let me share my
Yeah.
screen.
The one on the right is always the value. So you should
Yeah.
always see two columns.
Let me share my screen. 1 second here. Okay. Do you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm looking at Brandpod and I see this is the name,
We're
mail.
not seeing your Brandpod.
Well, I'm just showing you it's on another monitor. But
Oh,
Brandpod says TXT for the name mail.sonyaramsey.com and the value is the VSP. I don't see where I put the value here.
the
Ah,
content.
perfect.
Oh, put
The
it
content
here.
field.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right. How are you guys doing? And again, I know some of you did it, like we have a combination of some of you who did it during our beta testing group. And then some of you, Dr. Teresa, Sonia, I know you did yours last week. Or Sonia, did you actually do yours last week? I think you came in
I
late, so
came
you
in
missed
late,
it.
so I'm doing it now.
You're
Yeah.
doing both.
But
Okay,
I'm
so
doing
I know
two.
you're set. Dr. Teresa, anyone stuck or need help or need a little extra time? Dr. Teresa, your email signature looks crappy. Okay. Um, it might be the dark mode thing. Like mine looks crappy on dark mode too because it's really built with a white background. But if you email it to yourself, if you have you already have your domain set up. So send yourself a test email from the mailbox once you have your signature set up. Make sure it looks good there. That's all that matters.
So is that you
Uh,
admitting that white mode needs to move forward on the list?
Actually, no. So there's a whole other announcement with that one. Sorry. Light mode is not coming to Brandpod anytime soon. Also, by the way, our developer, our main developer hates it. So just so you know, our agency model is going to be all light mode. And he's like, I was like, what do you think of the design? Because I came up with the whole design, and he's like, it's all right. I can work with it. That was his answer. It's great.
That very likely means that I will love it.
I love it. I love it.
Good.
There he is. He's laughing in the chat. That was a pretty good Bruno impersonation, wasn't it? I just can't do the Brazilian accent. Dr. Teresa, you had a question. I think you were muted. You were trying to say something.
Oh, no, I was just I had created one with the white background, but then
Uh-huh.
the link to the website didn't work because it's all kind of contained. So I just gotta play with it.
Okay, play with it. If you need help, just reach out to Maha. I'm gonna offer you up because Maha's been doing the most playing with the signature field.
Hmm.
So just reach out to her.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you sorted.
Thank you.
We're gonna keep making this stuff prettier and prettier. Just keep in mind, guys, this is V1 of all of this. We just wanted to get you the automation so you can stop doing everything so manually because we've heard from a lot of you that all of this does a lot of the work for you. It's still manual for you to come in like once a week and look through all the research opportunities and figure out which ones to email and then create the pitches and send them. So we're just trying to automate all of that for you. And so this is V1. We have a lot coming in V2 already. By the end of next month, we have a lot slated to come out. So again, just bear with us. This is V1. Not everything looks pretty, but everything works really beautifully. And that's the part that I want to get to. So if you guys are all done, Sonia's done. Anyone else that's still working? I was just going to say, Nick, it looks like you're taking lots of notes. Are you also building this in your Brandpod account? You are. Okay. So does anyone need more time or should we move ahead? Because
Go
now
ahead.
comes the
Go
more
ahead
fun
and
part.
move ahead. I'm behind, but that was only because my archaic laptop needed to restart. So just
Oh no.
yeah, it's fine. It's back online. It's not dead yet. But just you do
Yeah.
you. I can do DNS quickly, so we're good.
Awesome. Yeah, just quickly copy paste everything. And again, if you need any help, oh, that just became full screen. How do
If you
I?
need any help, you're gonna sacrificial lamb Maha. Got it. 10-4.
Yes. You guys still see my screen? I went into full screen mode and I don't know how to get out of it now.
We can see
Double click.
settings.
You can see settings. Oh, there it is. No, I just had to double click on it. Okay. All right. Hopefully this is a better view on your end. Okay, so you can see settings. This is what we just added. You should, once you've done it, you should see this little active tag. Okay, which means as soon as you have the active tag, you know that you're ready to go. Again, if you are on GoDaddy, Sonia, it looks like you did one with GoDaddy and one with Cloudflare. So I think
Yeah,
you're
they're
gonna
both
see the.
active. No, they're
Oh,
both
they're both
active.
active. Okay,
Mhm.
then never mind me. I was gonna say your GoDaddy is probably still thinking, but
No, I've never
awesome.
had problems with GoDaddy. Yeah.
Fine then. Okay, well,
Sorry.
that's good to know. That's good to know.
What
Um,
is Canal? He's got Canal, excuse me. He's got this signature. Where is that going?
So
Did I
that's what I'm going
miss
to show you
something?
guys next. So once
Oh,
you're
he's
done
jumping
with
ahead.
the
Sorry.
domain and you have, that was just, I was telling everyone who was already done with the domain from last week, you can, jump forward. Also, always just feel free to ignore Kunal. He's usually never saying anything useful in the chat. So he's just there for entertainment purposes. Um, so once you're done with that, you're gonna go back into, we're gonna do a few more settings, okay? And then we're gonna start turning automations on. And nothing magical is gonna happen because it's gonna wait for your next research agent run. So just wanna set that as well. The magical stuff starts happening once you've turned on the automations and you've rerun your research agents, okay? So when you come back into general in your settings, again, let me know if I've lost any of you. But Maha, how did you paste this in here in white? Did you do something special or what did you do here? Is it a screenshot? You're muted. You're muted.
Wow. So I just copy pasted it. I just copied your signature from Gmail and then pasted it here.
Okay, and it came through with a white background?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
with all the links.
With all the links. Yeah, the links work. I know I tested that. So the links all work, and I have a lot of links in my signature. I don't necessarily advise that, especially when you're using a new sending domain. I might actually take out all these links here because when you have that many links, it starts to get caught up in all the spam filters. So when you're just starting out with your new domain, which is something that we're all doing because Brandpod is brand new, the mailbox is brand new. I'm going to actually strip my signature of all these links for now. Okay, so that's where you're going to add the email signature. And the other setting that you want to make sure you're good with, if you haven't done this already, the setting has been there for a while. This basically tells your agents if you want to have your pitches and your follow-ups written in the first person, so coming straight from you, directly from you, or if you want to have a VA or an EA or pretend that you have an EA because you're that important, we won't judge. Just figure out what you want your pitches and follow-ups to be written on behalf of. Now, I get this question a lot, so I'm going to answer this before you guys even ask. Is what do I recommend? I have been doing first person my entire personal branding journey, and they have worked great for me. However, I've also talked to a lot of people. I get on demos all the time, and a lot of people tell me that they've gotten much better success having done both. They've seen more success when the emails come from their assistants. And I know a lot of our users are doing that. They've actually got assistants. And so they have these pitches written by their assistant representing them. What that means is that I can show you an example. I had, just for testing purposes, I had my thing set to third person and I had Sarah, my executive assistant, and you can kind of change this to be whatever you want. And so the pitches that it started to write, and again, I can show you this for an event that I was testing this with. So look at these settings, okay? So I have it at third person. My assistant's name is Sarah. This is make believe. I don't actually have an assistant named Sarah. Sadly, I don't have any assistant right now at all. And your assistant's role, whatever you want to call her, just assistant, executive assistant, virtual assistant, VA, whatever you want the email to say, okay? Once you put that in here, I'm going to show you what it looks like in an actual email. So I go into my pipeline and I think it's all the way down on one of the events. I was testing this morning. So this is what it wrote for me. So it says, "Hi, Linda. I'm Sarah, the executive assistant for Ruheene Jaura. I'm writing to you today because I believe your audience at FeatureCon would find great value in Ruheen's perspective on AI and personal branding." So you see how it's written as if my assistant is writing it, but still representing me. Okay. And this is what we've been told by a lot of people who've also been building their personal brands, that this has gotten them more success than having sent it directly from them. I can only speak from my personal experience, which I've always done in the first person, and it's always worked great for me. Bernadette, would you say that Coach Kevin feels more comfortable doing fully automated because he's using assistant mode? Like he's doing this in the third person? So even if there's a misfire, he can blame his assistant, or maybe that's you. I don't know if you've put your name in there.
He's using first person.
Oh, he's using first person now? He told me he was using third person.
He switched at some point.
Oh, I love him. He's crazy. I love him. Um, so just a little side note, that's something, I think he thought he was using third person. So he was like, I don't care that my emails are, accidentally going out as hi host name. Again, we fixed that issue now, but he was one of our testers. He was like, because it's going from my assistant, so they're not even going to blame me. And he was like, oh, wait, I think I'm in first person. So I don't think he really knows. But a side note for any of you who are like, I kind of want to just lean in and go fully automated, but I don't want any heat. Like, I don't want to look like an idiot if it goes out as high host name. Don't overthink it. That's something that Coach Kevin's been training me honestly on. But if you are going to overthink it, then that's a safe way to do it. So if you want to just start doing it in assistant mode or third person mode rather, you can do that and then lean into the fully automated settings and see how that goes for you. Okay, so hopefully this answers how do you handle questions and when others ask about Sarah. There's nothing to people don't ask me like, who's your assistant? We want to meet her. It's always like they'll reply and then I reply like, hey, I'm Ruheene, I'm jumping in, like, and I just take the conversation forward. Nobody really asks like, hey, what happened to Sarah? I'm like, I fired her. Doesn't matter. Or now it's Amy. I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. People don't really or Canal goes with Sarah's left the building. Yeah, I've never seen anyone actually ask. And I know Bernadette, you handle all of Coach Kevin's stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever asked, like, who's on your team? Who's working with you? I
I
emailed
love,
Sarah.
I love that you say like no skin off your back. Like, oh, whatever. I just fired her. Like, okay, okay, off with their head. Like, it's fine.
It really doesn't matter. Again, these are things that I will warn you guys. We have some users who have like signed up and then they're like, oh my God, like it's not saying it exactly how I want to say it and I can't prompt it. And there's a reason why we're not letting you prompt it because we've literally taken this from what agencies who've been doing this for many, many years, taken their templates and built it in for you. In fact, we had put in brand voices in there and we stripped it out because it was just ruining the format that has been tried and tested and works. So just trust the process. I promise you it works. Sonia, you have a question? Oh, I think you're muted.
Can I share my screen real quick? I just have a
Yeah.
question about the spacing.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Does it matter if there's that little extra space between the name and the title in the signature?
It's a personal preference thing. You can change that if you want.
Yeah, I would like to bring it up a little bit. Change the
Okay,
text.
so put your cursor at, yep, right there. And then go back to the beginning of M. Hit the backspace button. And then hold shift down and press enter.
Shift, press enter. Oh,
There
okay,
you go.
perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let me share my screen again. Okay. All right, so hopefully that gives you an example of how that's going to look if you put it in the third person. But again, personal preference, I don't have any recommendation either way. You've got to do it whatever feels better to you. Okay, so I'm going to go back in my settings. All right, so everyone's got their domain set up. Hopefully it's showing green and active. And you've got your first person, third person thing sorted out. And you've got your email signature. Again, it doesn't have to be this. I'm actually going to strip this out. I'm going to say this one more time. Because you are warming up a brand new domain, I highly advise against putting any links. This is just us testing all this stuff in my account. But I would advise against putting in any links, or at most you want to have one link if you really want it in your signature. But just keep it simple for now, and then you can keep getting fancier as you go and as you get more traction in your mailbox. Okay. Everybody good so far? Let me find my chat again.
And is that because you don't want them to click on the links and get like distracted by the like?
No. It has nothing to do with that. We want them to click on our links and find out more about us. When you have a lot of links in your email, overall email, not just your signature, spam filters start to pick up on that.
Got it.
So if they see a lot of links in a cold email that you've never, they don't recognize, there's no domain reputation built on this new subdomain yet, and you're sending out a lot of links, they don't care that it's in your signature or anywhere else. They just see an email going out with lots of signatures. And it's going to just start getting put into people's spam inboxes. Spam boxes, spam inboxes.
Got it. I actually think that that's a really important note to like sort of underscore in general, like links or otherwise, like links in your signature or otherwise, like links at all in cold email get flagged.
Yeah.
Good one. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. So everybody good with these settings? Let me know if anyone is like, I need a couple of more minutes. I see lots of thumbs ups. Okay, great. So once you have that, do we dive right into automations? Am I missing a step, Maha?
Yep, we dive into automations.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that we don't need Google integrations for this, right? That's where my brain went to. We don't need it for this. We need it for the next thing, the
Yep.
Easter egg. Okay. All right, we'll come to the Easter egg. Okay, so this is the fun part, and we are like now 2/3 of the way into the workshop, so we're gonna start moving fast, but this is where it gets really fun and really cool, and you can start making all these cool magician decisions for your automation agents. So if you go into automations, anyone not seeing this tab, we just pushed it live to everyone's account, so hopefully you're all seeing this now. Cool. Okay, I see you guys nodding, so hopefully we're all good. Put it in the chat if you don't see this setting, but everyone should see this today. So in your automation settings, the first thing you'll want to choose is semi-automated or fully automated. Manual is what you've been doing so far. You're at this workshop. I'm going to assume you don't want to stick with manual. So pick your poison. Again, that wasn't the best choice of words when I want you guys to do this, but pick your flavor, your automation flavor, and either go with semi-automated and automated. So I've already explained, Kyria, you're like dying right now. Um, So I've already explained the difference between semi-automated and automated. Anybody have any questions about what these two mean? I'm happy to explain it one more time. It's also written here in like very small text. The system automatically generates a pitch and follow-up drafts for you. You review and send each one manually. That's semi-automated, okay? And then fully automated is the system automatically generates pitches and follow-ups for you, sends them out automatically on your behalf, and notifies you only when you get a response. You get a notification on a response in both these modes, by the way. It's just that with the semi-automated, keep in mind that you'll want to log in every day just to review your drafts and send them out. Otherwise, the follow-up window won't kick in. And I'll go over what that means as well. Dominic, you have a question?
Quick question. So I have a group of, I'm in semi-automatic, as you know. I have a new set of drafts ready to go out. My
Yep.
question is, if I just switch it to fully automatic, will it take the drafts and automatically send them?
I don't believe so. Maha, will it? I think if Dominic now switches, he still needs to send the ones in his drafts out manually, but then any new, when the research agents run again, the new ones will get picked up by the fully automated
Yep.
agents, correct? Yep.
Yep.
Does that make sense, Dominic?
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And again, this is V1, that's how we're doing it. We are going to eventually make it so that if you switch from one to the other, it's going to pick up whatever you already have in the pipeline. It's going to pick up whatever you already have in your research pages. So it's all going to go like that. But again, we just, because it's V1, because these are brand new, subdomains that you're setting up for yourselves, we want to make sure that we are staying on the right side of, what's the word for it? You guys know what I'm saying. I was going to say domain warming up, but that's not the right. You guys know. We're trying to make sure that you guys
Like the
don't get.
reputation.
Yeah,
Right
your
side.
reputation. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sonia.
Mhm.
Sometimes my coffee fails to kick in.
It's still
Deliverability.
early
Yep,
on the West Coast.
it is. I'm on the West Coast too. And we just got back from spring break. So anyway, but yes, so semi-automated versus fully automated. Hopefully you guys know what you want to do. Again, you're not tied into this forever. You can switch it at any time. You'll just want to see whatever you have in your pipeline through if you're going from semi-automated to automated. Okay. Next, you want to pick. So if you are turning on automations, we're going to assume that you will definitely want to target your strong fit podcast in this case, right? Since we're only doing podcasts today. You definitely want to target your strong fit podcasts that come back from the research agents. By the way, anything that you guys all know that you can also manually look for a podcast, right? And pull in any specific podcast or podcasts whenever you want. Those will automatically, regardless of whether they're a strong fit or not, those will automatically get picked up because you're specifically searching for that. So those will automatically get picked up by your automation settings if you manually add any podcasts, okay? So pick whether you want, if you also want moderate fit, okay, obviously that increases your, did I just click out of that? Obviously that increases your chances. The more pitches you send out, the more volume, the wider your net, your casting is. And so the higher the chances of receiving a response in a shorter amount of time is. Just keep that in mind. It's a volume game, right? You don't want to compromise quality on volume because I see a lot of people, again, building like OpenClaw agents to do this stuff. And they're like, oh, it's a volume game. Well, you don't want to give up on quality because you are actually shrinking your chances of hearing back if you're just going with volume. So this is kind of both. Okay. And if you're feeling brave and you really just want to cast a wide net, you could also turn on low fit. Usually, your research agents will always bring back more strong and moderate fit results. But if you ever have, a weak fit podcast, you're like, what the heck? I just want to get out there. Like, I'm okay if it's not the perfect fit. You can turn that on as well.
I'm
Uh,
curious. I'm
yeah.
curious if I can ask, if we use Coach Kevin as an example, we know
Yep.
that Coach Kevin had, like, prior to this happening, like prior to autonomous agents, he had already picked up a lot of speed and momentum in the flywheel. I'm wondering if Bernadette can speak to, like, has there been even more velocity with the autonomous piece happening? Because he was a test, like a beta
Comparison.
test data.
Yeah.
Is that right? Like, he was almost saying, like, this is too much volume before.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a possibility. I'm just curious, because you're saying, like, this isn't necessarily increasing, like, it's not lacking quality, it's staying high quality, it's
Exactly.
increasing velocity, it's increasing, like, the tempo of follow-up. So, like, you would
Yeah.
anticipate to see more results faster this way, correct?
Yes, but keep in mind that Coach Kevin has been, like, Bernadette has been working with him. So I
Right.
think the right question for them would be, and Bernadette, I'll let you speak, of course, but I know you're dying to speak right now. Bernadette loves unmuting herself and speaking. But because Coach Kevin and I talk a lot about his account and what's happening, I know that he's had Bernadette running this stuff for him. So the question now is not, does he have more podcasts on his calendar? Because he's been overbooked since he started using Brandpod, like since Christmas, I want to say, is when he started getting booked. And he's been constantly booked since then. When I talked to him the other day, he was like, I have 4 podcasts just today and I don't have time to eat lunch. So
Yeah.
that's how well it's working for him. So Bernadette, I think a question for you would be, do you feel like you're being more effective with your time with the automations turned on instead of having to do this manually to get the same results?
Actually, I do spend a lot of time with Brandpod, but now it's easier for me. So what I do for now is just I search for a lot of podcasts that suits Coach Kevin, and then it would just send out automatically. And then we just receive um replies and response from those automation. And then yeah, it works. It really is. So it's good for me.
Awesome.
That's amazing. That's so,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
and
saves a
two,
lot of
like,
time.
well,
Very effective.
the time that you were spending manually before, already working with a tool that's taking, 50+% of the workload to do all of this, like, you're taking even further step back. And now it sounds like you're able to spend more time researching, like, additional podcasts that wouldn't necessarily have come. So, like, you're not spending less time, you're just becoming more effective with your time, I would imagine. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's
Yeah. Thanks
awesome.
for sharing, Bernadette. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks,
All
thanks,
right.
Bernadette. I just wanted to ask, because that you use his use case so often, that I wanted to just clarify, someone who's, like, at the sort of optimum level of utilizing the tool,
Yeah.
and maybe those of you who were in the kind of beta testers, if you're starting to see traction, like, I'd be super curious to hear how that's going, like, once you're getting traction. We're not all Coach Kevins, but you know what I mean? Like, just, and maybe someone who doesn't have an assistant, like, who's able to utilize the tool to do that heavy lift.
Yeah. And Nathan, if you want to speak to this, Don, thanks for joining. I just saw that you have to run, but hopefully you have all of this set up. We are going to be sharing an Easter egg after this as well in the next 10 minutes. So you might want to catch the replay for that. We're just getting into the juicy parts now for the last 20 minutes of this workshop, the last 25 minutes.
Okay,
Nathan, if
appreciate it. I'll look for that
okay,
replay. Thanks
sounds
so
good.
much.
All right. Yeah, Nathan, if you want to share your results, I know Dominic was our other beta tester, but he just shared with me this morning that he's been busy onboarding a new assistant. So I think Nathan has been testing out the semi-automated feature. Okay, but let's go ahead and get all of this done in your accounts. I want to make sure that you're all set up. Okay. So once you have your pitch target filter set and you know who you're targeting, again, the most common is going to be strong and moderate fit is where I would recommend. And again, low fit is just a personal preference thing if you want to go ahead with that. Your follow-up time frame, okay? Now, if let me actually quickly show you what the pipeline looks like again, so you're aware, right, of what those settings mean. So don't navigate on your end because you're going to lose the settings that you've already put in there, but I'm just showing you what the pipeline looks like so you have a visual as you set these numbers. So when an opportunity, whether you add it manually or whether your automation agents pick it up, when an opportunity is added from your research results into your tracking pipeline, it adds it into added to account. Like that's the starting point, right? Then we have a pitch sent. And then after a certain number of days, we have follow up 1, follow up 2, follow up 3 sent. Okay. If they don't respond in after we've pitched them, we've sent them 3 follow-ups. The follow-ups are very mindful. I promise you're not going to be spamming them. They're literally just, they get shorter and shorter. They're very, very respectful. Just checking in to see if, like giving them more information, giving them another reason to respond. And if they still don't respond, they get put into this nurture flow. Okay, I had people in here which I've cleaned out just to test the automations. But once they're in this nurture, the idea is for 3 to 6 months, you want to keep them in a nurture flow because just because they haven't responded right now, there could be so many reasons, right? They may have something big going on in their lives right now. Right now might not be a good time. Doesn't necessarily mean that you want to stop pitching them. You just don't want to pitch them for a few months. Let's say 3 to 6 months is usually the right time where you want to keep them in that nurture phase and then reach out to them again to see if you can restart that conversation after they've been in that nurture holding state for, again, 3 to 6 months or whatever time period you choose. You could choose a year if you wanted to. Then the system will try and re-engage them by sending them a new email with new information about you to say, hey, like, basically it's another version of the pitch, but not just pretending that you've never emailed them before. So you're going to re-engage them. You're going to send 2 follow-ups. And then if they still don't respond, we're going to mark the opportunity as lost at that point. At any point, if you receive a reply, you will get an email in your user inbox, in your personal inbox, letting you know that there's a reply ready for you to respond to. This is in both semi-automated and automated. It will also take that opportunity once they respond. Right now, it will take that opportunity out of your automation settings. So the automation agents will no longer touch that opportunity once you get a reply because now it's just waiting for you to come in and move it along. If at any point you also manually change the opportunity stage, it is going to break that automation setting. So keep that in mind, just for that opportunity will be taken out of the automation settings that you have in your account. Okay. So if you do get a response and you're, booking them, you're booked, you'll want to manually put them through these stages yourself, just to make sure that you are tracking them correctly. Okay. So just make sure that those are the numbers you're putting in here. Best practice for follow-ups are 3 to 7 days. You don't want to make it any less than 3 days because then it does start to get annoying. 5 days, 7 days, any of those is good. Anything more than 7 days starts to get too long and they may just forget about the first email that you sent. But 3 to 7 days is that sweet spot. Okay, so that's what we recommend putting in here. So I have it at 3 days, 3 days, and 7 days. You can mix them up. You can have 7, 7, 7 days, whatever you want to do. After that, they're going to go into that holding period. So I have 60 days right now just as a test. But again, I highly recommend going anywhere between 90 to 180 days. So 3 to 6 months. Yeah. And then you can have 7 days, 14 days after that for those additional follow-ups before they get marked as closed if they still haven't responded by the end of all of that. Okay, you have a question? Oh, you're
Yeah.
muted.
No, I just had to unmute. When you were just saying that if you go into one opportunity and you manually move it, is there an like, I'm just thinking with so much kind of happening, is there any way, like outside of like making note of it personally, that automation sequence has been broken? Like, will it show that anywhere?
Yeah,
What
there
I
will be
mean?
a manual tag in your pipeline. So when you look at that opportunity in your pipeline, it'll have a manual tag on it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I don't know if you mentioned that. I just
I
was
did not.
thinking like,
I
okay,
didn't.
I was thinking that like with ADHD brain, I'm like, oh yeah, I manually moved this one, and then like they never hear from me again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Cool, got it. Thank
For those
you.
of you doing demos for clients, keep that in mind. You don't want to like be like, oh, this is how it works, and then like move it and be like, what the heck happened to that opportunity?
Sure.
Yeah, great question.
Thanks.
Yeah. Dominic, you have a question?
I do. So I'm in the follow-up section. I went ahead and, by the way, I did a fantastic job. I've got a bunch of them queued up in there. I clicked on a follow-up. It wrote the follow-up. But then when I go to click the send email button, it's not letting me send it. It says email not found. Use the website instead. Where am I going wrong?
Was that for a podcast or was that for an event?
Podcast.
It was for a podcast. Yeah. So we're fixing that because what it's telling you to do is it's telling you exactly that. It's saying for that specific opportunity, and you'll find this more with events, and we were just talking about this a little bit this morning, but you'll find this more for events. For podcasts, they have to have an email when they add their podcast, when they list their podcast on iTunes. They have to have a name and they have to have an email. So if our agents have not been able to find it, which is very rare with podcasts, it will just tell you to go to their website. It'll link you to their website so you can find the contact page to send them the message through their contact form or basically through their website.
Okay,
It's one
I
of
got
those
it.
rare cases where it just couldn't find the email for whatever reason.
Okay, I got it. Now, when it does have the email and you do send it, does it automatically take this particular potential lead, and put it in? Does it move it along in the pipeline automatically, or do I need to do that?
No, so if it couldn't find an email, it has no way of tracking whether it's been sent out, whether you've received a reply. So that's just going to stay in manual mode.
Okay, so I drag it over manually. Now, if it did have an email and it was sent, will it automatically move through the pipeline?
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
the
you.
whole point of the semi-automated. Yeah.
Got it.
So in semi-automated mode, these follow-ups will only, so let's say you sent a pitch and your next follow-up is going to be, let's say you sent it through the system. Your next follow-up, your first follow-up is going to be ready because I have it in 3 days here. I have it set to 3 days. In 3 days, it's going to write my follow-up and put it in drafts. Now, let's say I don't log in for a week. Okay, the next 3 days is only going to kick in when I actually log in, send it, and then it will create my next follow-up draft for me 3 days from when I actually send that through the system.
So one last question on this topic. If you have it in fully automatic and it does not find an email, then what does it do?
It won't even put them in the opportunity. So it checks before
Okay.
your automation agents are checking for specific things. It's checking to see do they accept guests or not? Do they have an email? And then what's the third one? I always forget one when I'm listing these out, Maha.
It's not already in the opportunity
Not already in
pipeline.
the pipeline. Correct. Thank you. So it checks these 3 things. And every time I list this out, I forget one.
Well, it checks other things. It'll only send the ones where if you've selected only strong fit, it'll skip anything that's moderate or low fit. So it does all of those checks and then decides which podcast it needs to send emails for.
Got
Sorry,
it.
was his
Thank
voice
you.
echoing?
Yep,
No?
a lot.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. That's me because I don't have my AirPods on. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So if it's an automated mode, it will check for a bunch of things before it even puts it in the pipeline, sends out an email, sends out a follow-up. It's going to check for all these things. Okay. Once you have all of this set up, you are good to go with your automations and they will kick in once you rerun your agents. But before we do that, here's the Easter egg that we promised you. We have a little surprise for you guys because I know this is something I'm being asked to wait.
There was think.
What do you want me to clear?
Yeah, just go on mute. So I know that Ruheene said that when you get a reply from a podcast host, you get an email. There are 2 emails that come. One is the actual reply that they sent, which will be in the inbox inside Brandpod. The other is a notification that we send you, letting you know that there is a reply that's waiting for you to take action. That notification that we send is sent to the email that you use to sign up for Brandpod with. So 2 different emails will come. One will come to the mailbox the email that you use to sign up for Brandpod with, and the other ones, any response coming from a host is going to come directly inside your mailbox, inside the Brandpod app.
So hopefully that made sense. Any questions about that, where the emails are going?
I have a question then. Let's say if we follow up with the we respond to that email. Do we respond to it in Brandpod or okay, yes. And then so then if we get booked, then we manually change it in the pipeline ourselves. So that's where the manual process comes in.
It's going to, am I still on mute? No. It's going to automatic, once you get a reply, it automatically takes them out of the automation.
Okay.
You don't have to, then you can track them manually, yes, by moving them, but you don't have to do anything to take them out of the automation. As
Okay,
soon as it
perfect.
gets a reply from the host, it will automatically pull them out of the automation and then let you know that now it's in your hands. You've got it from here.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. So, once you guys have all that, I know something that you guys have all been asking us for a lot is how do we automate our content? I was waiting to see your face, Sonia. I was actually thinking about you. So you can now automate your content, which is super cool, meaning every time your research agents run, you can tell your automation agents for content specifically to also create content for you. Now, this is going to work a little bit differently on the pro accounts versus the light accounts. Okay. As you can probably guess what the difference is already, but on the pro account, when you create bulk content, you can pick how many topics, up to 30 topics at a time to create bulk content on. And then it automatically spits it out into your Google Drive as long as you have that in your integrations. So this is what Mahal is like, okay, we will need it for the Easter egg that we're talking about. You will want to make sure that under integrations, you have your Google Drive set up. Okay. While you're in here though, go ahead and turn on automated content. You're going to be able to, because I'm on the pro account, it's asking me how many topics I want to pick, up to 30. Every time my research agents run and it finds me all of the search terms that my target audience is looking for that week on AI, on LLMs, on Google, all of those search terms, I will just tell it like pick 20 topics because it is doing it every week. So you could pick up to 30. You probably want to pick 10 or 15 or 20, depending on how much you're posting. And then tell it which formats you want to run. So my settings right now are telling my content agents that every time my research agents run, specifically my ICP research, right? This part of the automation is waiting for data to be handed over from my podcast research agents. This part is waiting for data to be handed over from my ICP research agents, which pull in all of the search terms from my audience that week. You guys already know about that, right? So now I'm telling my automation agents, every time you get new data on what my audience is searching for, I want you to create, so 5 topics. Take 5 topics from in the order that it's returned to you. Take 5 of those search terms, create a blog post, create an email newsletter for each of those topics. So I'm going to get 5 blog posts, 5 email newsletters. I'm going to get, so the social media agents run a little bit differently. Like they'll produce anywhere between 5 to 10 pieces of content. So it is going to do, let's see if my math fails me here, but 25 to 50 pieces of LinkedIn content on those 5 topics. And same for Facebook and whatever else I have checked on here. Okay. If you're on a light account, keep in mind that it's going to pick one topic, right? It's going to go through the content automation workflow. That's how it works on the light account. Okay. Also, if you're on the pro account and you're doing it this way, it's going to automatically put that content every time it runs the research agents, gets your new search items and search phrases for you. It's going to create the content, put it in your Google Drive, and then send you an email again to your user email, the one that you've signed up for your Brandpod account with, and let you know that you have new content in your Google Drive. Okay. If you're on the light plan, it's not going to put it into Google. It's going to do what it does when it goes to the content automation workflow, which is it is going to put it in your content history. So if you're on the pro account, it will add it to bulk content history and export it to your Google Drive. If you're on the light account, you can choose which formats you want to create, and it will automatically create one blog post if you have that checked on, one email newsletter, and then whatever social media posts based on one topic every time your research agents run. Okay. And that's going to go in your content history here. And again, you'll get an email saying, hey, log back into your account. You have new AEO content ready to go, waiting for you in your content history. You guys excited?
So just to recap, if we're on the pro plan, it'll put the content history, it'll upload the content directly to the Google Drive automatically, correct?
Yes. It'll also
Okay.
have it in your bulk content history here,
Got
and it will export it to your Google Drive, and it will send you an email that it's all ready for you. Every week,
That's
every time your research agents run. Yeah.
super. Is there a way to set the folder in the Google Drive that it goes to rather than just going into the default root of the drive? In other
We
words,
don't have that right now. Yeah, you would have to come in here, and if you click on this, you already know this. So this
Yep.
little icon will take you to the content in your Google Drive. But yeah, we don't have a way for you to set that right now.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Set that path right now, rather. All right. You excited? You guys all
Super.
excited? We wanted to give you that Easter egg
Awesome.
because we had to reschedule last week's workshop to this week. And I know some of you guys were waiting in the waiting room last week because I think it was still showing up on your Google calendars. Yes, Mark's raising his hand. You weren't the only one though. So yeah, we just wanted to give you guys a little Easter egg, give you guys a little bonus just for being patient with us. Yeah, Merry early Christmas.
This whole thing
Thank
is
you,
a
guys.
bonus, Ruheene. This whole goddamn thing is a bonus. You're like, oh, we want to give you a bonus. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, this is, yeah, this is what autonomous actually looks and feels like. Like, you're just, the podcast piece alone is like, oh, wow, this is amazing. That's the piece for sure that I would get stuck on. I have a light plan, so a little bit different for me, but like pro plan, literally, like you're going to get an email to say like, oh, by the way, all your content's in your folder. Like, I can't. It's too much. Good job.
You're gonna get an email on the Light account too. It'll just tell you that it's in your content
It's
history.
just, yeah, it's just somewhere else. Yeah, that's totally fine. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not complaining about it. I'm just saying that like, oh, by the way, look, like your Google Drive's exploding with content. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's amazing. Good job.
Absolutely. For those of you that don't have your brand voices created, make sure that you have them created because although we strip them out from the pitches and the follow-ups, they're not going to be used there. We're just going with best practice because we've learned what works and we're just going with that. Your content is going to use your default brand voice. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have it. It's hidden under brand profile. I keep feeling like we need to move it out to a more obvious place, maybe in content. I think we should move it out to content, the content tab here, guys. Maha, a little note for you, Maha and Bruno. Anybody else agree? I feel like it shouldn't be in brand profile. It should be in content. Yeah? Okay, I got a ton of thumbs ups from Sonia. But yeah, I think we're gonna move this. But anyway, just so you know where it is right now, we'll make a big announcement if we move it. I promise we're not gonna like trick you. But if you don't ever see it in brand profile, then it's just moved to the content tab. But right now it's in brand profile, brand voices. You can create as many brand voices as you'd like. If you have content automations turned on, keep in mind that it will look for so in my case, it's Raheen's Best Life. It's gonna look for your default brand voice and use that for all of the content that it creates for you.
On that subject, Ruheene, when you move things in the platform, would it be possible to send an email that says this feature was moved from this location to this new location?
Like put it in here?
Actually, I think you should send an advisory email because in the past I've come in and I've been unable to find something because it was moved, but I had no idea it was moved.
Oh, we haven't moved anything yet, have we?
Is there an opportunity to just do like a jump to? Like,
Yeah, and
not
that's
move
what I was thinking
anything,
too.
like just
Yeah.
literally like leave it because it makes sense. And I'm thinking about more like if I'm pulling the report for like a client that's done, like
Yeah.
it makes sense to have brand voice in there because there's excerpts of it and there's just ways to show it. But if you're in content, is there a way to just do like a hop to?
Yeah.
Like,
We'll look at that. Maha, I think it should definitely be linked somewhere under content agent as well. I don't know if Bruno is still on this call. I don't see him anymore, but yeah, maybe we can take that offline and make it happen. Just connect
right.
it, make it obvious that it's connected to your content.
I just feel like too, like to Dominic's point, like it does make sense to have it, well, just that it's been there for so long, and it does make sense, like it makes sense to have it there. It also makes sense to have it in content, but I just feel like content is somewhat secondary because you're installing it first
Yeah,
in the
we'll
brand
make sure we're
profile.
not confusing you guys for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Any questions, guys? I know we're coming up on time here.
I don't have a question, but I definitely think that we need to direct our attention to the bright, sparkly, shiny pink hat in the room, please. If we can just all pay
Happy
attention.
70th birthday, Sandy.
Happy 70th birthday, Sandy, the one and only Pink Posse lady in the room. You are in good company with Kunal's pink hat and Ruheen's pink glasses. You belong here. We're so glad that you joined us for your 70th. Like, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
thank you for hopping on your 70th birthday. You
Yeah,
are literally the
happy
best.
birthday, Sandy. I put my Mexican hat on for you.
Unmute yourself, Sandy. There you go. Say hi.
Thank you so much. I just got off my birthday party with women around the world, ready to change the world for women. And so I'll put a link in the chat because I'm giving away the first 2 chapters of my book to the universe to help women live a better life. So I'd love for you to play. Hey, why not?
Amazing. Amazing. You're amazing.
Please do.
Thanks, Sandy.
Hello.
Also super great to see you on here using Brandpod or getting to know and using Brandpod, because your message and your personal brand and everything that you do is exceptional. And it is totally time for you to shout it from the rooftop. So stoked to see you here. Yeah.
Thank you to Ruheene, who said a community on Facebook is great, but you need your own brand.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Right?
especially
Pink
when you're
glasses
Sandy
and
Martinez.
all.
Yeah.
Especially when you're glittery, glorious Sandy Martinez.
Yeah. Happy birthday, you beautiful human.
Sonia, I want to make sure that you get your question answered. I know we're right up on time here.
This is real quick. You didn't tell us, but I'm assuming we would save the settings. I didn't want to do that and then
Yes.
something. Okay.
Please save your settings. Don't
Okay.
navigate away until you save your settings. And thank you. I think I got distracted by my little Easter egg here. Let's finish this up. Hold on, if I can find my share screen. Give me a second.
Are you having the call at 12 o'clock today, Pacific?
Yes. So in 30 minutes, we're gonna do town hall as well. If you guys have any other questions, any follow-up questions, definitely come to that. We are going to just do a quick walkthrough. We're not gonna do the workshop style that we did today. We're not gonna step through everything. We're just gonna basically announce this and then open it up for questions if you want to come to that as well. But yes, if you were on your settings, sorry, I left you hanging there. Sorry. In your automation settings, once you have all of that set up, please click on save settings, because if you didn't do that and you just got swept away like I did, you probably want to go in and redo those settings. Sorry. Click on save settings, and then you have a choice. You can either be patient and wait for your research agents to run again, or if you're like me and most of us in the room, because we're marketers and patients don't go together, go home, go to your home tab, click on edit survey. You'll want to make a little, if you go all the way to the end, it won't let you rerun your agents till you've made a change. So like go remove a period or something, which is what Maha and I love to do when we're doing this, right? So go remove a period, click on next, and then it'll activate that rerun agents button for you. So go ahead and rerun them and then check back in the next few hours, because ICP research gets done in like 10-15 minutes. So your content agents, if you have that turned on, are just going to trigger right away after that. And then once your podcast agents are done, which usually take an hour to 2 hours for that one, then your pitches and follow-ups will kick in at that point based on whether you're on semi-automated or automated. So even if you're on semi-automated, check back in later tonight to see what's in your drafts. And if you're on fully automated, check back in anyway to see what's been sent out from your account.
Does it matter? Is it like posting that it, like the time of day that it sends an email, or is it because it's email, it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter because it's email. We did think about that, but since you're not texting anyone, it's just gonna be exactly so like 24-hour increments from when you turn it on.
A great
If you're
question.
doing it in the middle of the night, yes, your emails will go out in the middle of the night. It's not gonna break anything because people usually are not getting dinged, or you shouldn't be. I mean, I'm sorry. If you have your email notifications turned on in the middle of the night, like you've got other problems, right?
Well, you just don't want to be getting emails from me because that's about the only time I send them. So there's that.
Also, the emails will be dripped at 5 per hour.
Oh yeah, thank you for
No
making
more
that.
than 5 per hour.
Okay, I was going to ask.
We're gonna eventually add, make it more dynamic as more emails go and your domain gets warmed up. We'll increase that number of emails that get dripped out. But right now, it's hard coded to 5 emails per hour for everyone's account.
And what are the chances of them going into spam?
Reasonably good.
It's a new sending domain. So you can improve your chances of not landing up in spam if you remove all the links, don't send attachments. We've worked really hard on. Do we have outgoing attachments now working, Maha, or not yet? Because I know we've
Yep.
been working really hard on that this week. So we've worked really hard on attachments. So the email that I actually woke up to when I turned on my automations and I woke up to a yes in my inbox, unfortunately had a script for what they wanted me to use on the podcast attached, and we didn't have attachments yet. So there was a fail there. So we wanted to make sure that that doesn't happen to you guys. And so we've been working really hard on making sure that you get attachments and can send attachments. But in your pitches, try not to send anything unnecessary. So no links, no attachments, no images. Just keep your signatures stripped because that's the best way to like people get carried away with their signatures. You can see that I have, but I'm going to strip my picture. I'm going to strip my links just until our sending domains are warmed up because no matter how long you've been sending out cold emails, if you have been, keep in mind that this is a brand new subdomain we just created today. So we're all starting from ground zero and we need to warm up this domain. But the fact that I've been getting responses, Nathan got a response, Coach Kevin got responses, multiple responses at this point. It is working and it is landing in people's inboxes. So it is working.
The sending domain is our individual or it's collectively the Brandpod sending domain? I just wanted to double check like on the back end of that. It's ours, right?
It's your sending
It's
domain,
ours.
but it's
Yeah.
our AWS account that's
Right.
hosting
And
that.
so to be clear then, is there anything borrowed for saying warmed up sending domain? It has nothing to do with your AWS or it does as well?
It does as well. Like the reputation and everything also goes to our AWS account. And if we get a lot of spam, so this is in our best interest too, not just yours, right? We
Right.
don't want to
That's
get
what I'm
spammed by
asking.
AWS.
Yep.
So we are doing
Yep.
everything we can to handle. Do we even have that PS right now? We don't have the PS live right now, right?
No.
Okay. So since we're talking about this, one more thing to keep in mind. Two things to keep in mind, actually. Can I have my space back? Thank you. It just like comes and rolls me out of my own frame. So two things to keep in mind. I know we're over time, so if you guys got to go, that's totally fine. We're going to send out the replay, but two really important things to keep in mind with deliverability specifically. One is that when you can test this right now. So if you've just set off everything while you're waiting for your agents to run, so definitely run your agents. You want to see this in action. It's a lot of fun. But you can actually go and send yourself a test. So if you create an email, go ahead and send it to yourself here. Okay. And then when you get it in your inbox, reply to it. You're going to see the reply field has a long string of characters. And so far, we have not had anyone mark it as spam, but we also understand how these things go. And it's only a matter of time before some recipients, some podcast host sees that long string and is like, this is weird. Like we did a test and it, changed the characters, and then Outlook started having a problem, wouldn't even send it. So we're doing a lot of testing on our end to make sure that you don't get dinged. So your sending domain doesn't get dinged, your reputation doesn't get dinged, and of course our AWS account doesn't get dinged. Okay, but we are actively working on fixing that long string that you're going to see. It's still going to work. You can reply to yourself, check it out. It's super cool. You'll get the reply here in your inbox. Everything works. Just make sure that, just know that we are trying to solve for that long string of characters by early next week, hopefully by Monday. But we're definitely trying to get it sorted for you by early next Monday.
Hey, Ruheene,
Yes.
I sent a test and it works fine. Is there
Okay.
any way to shorten that long horizontal line that is between the email body and then the signature? Can we shorten that a little bit?
What line?
There's like a gray horizontal line that goes across the email.
Yep. Right now
Oh,
it's part of the UI, but
yeah.
yeah, we
We
can
could
do something
shorten
about
it. I
that.
think let's just
Yeah.
shorten it as part of the UI, but I don't think it needs to be all that long, Maha.
Yep.
Yeah, let's have Bruno shorten that. Um, if you have any other questions, just hold that thought because I don't want to forget the second thing that I want to tell you. So this is a question that we internally had a lot of discussions over, and I want to share that with you because if you're not thinking of it yet, you're going to start thinking of it eventually. When you start sending out cold emails, you want to have an unsubscribe link, right? But keep in mind, those are very different kinds of cold emails. You are emailing and basically pitching your services or pitching something about what you can do for the other person through email. And yes, those are marketing emails, and so you want to have an unsubscribe link. We went back and forth a lot on whether we should have an unsubscribe link in these emails, but you don't want podcast hosts to really know out of the gate that this is some sort of automation that they're getting. These are meant to be personal emails. And so we didn't want to put an unsubscribe link in there, but we still want to make sure that we are staying on the right side of how these email automations work, right? We don't want you to get dinged. We don't want to get dinged again. That's at the core of everything else we do. All the pretty stuff will come later. Right now, we are just making sure that your sending domain reputation is growing and is warming up as intended. And you're not getting dinged. We're not getting dinged. Can't say that enough. That's at the core of everything we've been doing. So again, something that we were trying to get out by today, but didn't, and we should have this out by Monday because it's all working in our dev environment. We are going to start adding a PS, and you're going to start seeing these automatically. If you want to start doing it, if you're already running your agents today and you are on semi-automated and you want to add this in, go ahead and add this in. But you'll start seeing these automatically being appended to your emails on both semi-automated and automated mode, where you're going to have a PS that, hey, if this doesn't feel like the right fit or if this is not the right time, just let me know, and you won't hear from me again. Some of them are kind of funny, like I'll show myself the door, just let me know. Things like that to keep it light, to keep it personal, but also to let the recipient know that if they don't want to hear from you for whatever reason, they can reply. That reply, as again, we're all marketers, I think you guys already know the strategy behind that. That reply helps you warm up your domain and doesn't get you sent to spam. And that reply, when they reply, they automatically get taken out of the automation as well. So you're covered everywhere. Okay.
I want to be clear.
Mute.
Ruheene, you want to go on mute? All right. The last part that Ruheene said, that when they reply, they get taken out of the automation. That is for any reply. It's not specifically for yes, yes, please take me out. That's not the only time that they'll get taken out of automation. Anytime you get a reply from a podcast host or any other host, that opportunity will automatically become a manual opportunity from that point onwards.
Sonia, to your question of whether or not you will have the option to add the PS, we're making it so that it's really personal. Anything that's going to help your deliverability, we're not making it optional. We're just doing it for you because we don't want you to accidentally change something that we know works. Right? Again, we're taking best practice PS lines and we are cycling through like 10 different variations so they don't all sound the same. If you really don't want it there, you could have it on semi-automated and just delete them before you send out each one. But again, I don't recommend it because you do want, if somebody doesn't want to get those emails, you don't want them to mark that email as spam.
It might not be in brand voice though, right? Like if you're,
no.
I'm not endeavoring to speak for Sonia, but like if there's 10 different PSs that are, maybe a couple of them are a little bit tongue in cheek, like, that might not be on brand for a very specific brand voice. It doesn't matter.
We're just trying to keep it personal. So keep in mind that your brand voice is not, we've stripped it out of your pitches and your follow-up. So those emails don't even use your brand voice anymore.
Right. You're right.
It's only in your content. So for your pitches and follow-ups, it doesn't matter if you have a super quirky, super professional, super serious, it doesn't matter. We're using what works for these specific kinds of pitches. These are not cold emails that are going out to prospects. Sure. They're specifically going out to event and eventually event, but right now podcast hosts. And so we're taking what is already best practice from larger agencies that have been doing this for a very long time, and we've built it into the system for you. So it's not optional. We don't recommend taking it out. But again, if you wanted to get around the system and take them out, you could just do it in semi-automated mode, edit them how you like and send them out. But just keep in mind that if somebody doesn't want to get your emails, they're going to end up marking you as spam because you haven't put that PS in there.
Okay.
So where are we putting that PS? In our email signature?
No, you're not putting it anywhere. We're going to be putting it for you. So by Monday, you should start seeing that at the bottom. It's going to be in slightly smaller font, but it is going to be there under your signature or above the signature, Maha? I know you've been testing this.
It is under the signature.
Under the signature.
Right at the end.
It'll automatically get added in for you. So you don't have to do anything. I just wanted you to be aware that this is, in case you're like, oh, shouldn't this have an unsubscribe link? Like, just want to explain that thought process to you guys. because it will come up at some point, and you will start seeing those PSs start appearing more than likely starting on Monday.
So just want to add a few things on why we're making some of these decisions on not making it optional or letting you turn it off. For now, we use AWS SES for sending out all emails. And so every single domain, all of your emails get sent from your domain, but it uses our system. So any domain that gets marked as spam or complaint rates go up, that affects our account and the platform's ability to send and receive email on everyone's behalf. So right now, because we are not offering static IPs for you guys to purchase and have your domain just go from that static IP, we're going to control some of these things to make sure that the spam and rejection rate and complaints are at the bare minimum. That said, we are going to monitor complaints, spam rates for different accounts. And at some point, we may have to temporarily pause sending out. If it goes beyond a certain limit for a particular domain, we will have to forcefully pause emails temporarily while we figure out whether it's something that's got to do with the stuff that we're generating, or is it something that you're adding after that that's causing these things. But that standard procedure that any platform that provides email, they follow the same process. So we'll have to do it at that point. Around Q3 timeline, we'll also offer the ability to buy a static IP and then just have only your domain go through that. When that happens, we may allow certain things to happen. But again, if there are too many spam reports or complaints, we will have to pause sending out emails from those domains.
So in case you can't tell, we're spending a lot of time and energy on making sure that basic deliverability is being catered to and cared for. So we're taking care of a lot of that stuff on our end. You guys don't have to worry about it. Teresa, you just asked a really good question, so I want to make sure that I answer that. You were just asking about what happens to podcast reviews. Because that requires a login, like it's something that you have to log into their, into your Spotify account or your YouTube account or your iTunes account before you can leave a review. That's not something we've been able to automate just yet, but those podcast reviews are still going to get generated every time. It doesn't matter which mode you're on. They're still getting generated. They're always going to be under outreach tracking podcast reviews. So you'll see I have all of these here. Once you've posted it, you can mark it as posted, but it's literally here for you to copy and paste in there.
Okay.
So if you're on semi-automated mode, I would highly recommend when you like edit your drafts and send them out, come in here also, especially if it's one that you really want to be on, do this extra step. It definitely helps, and podcast hosts always appreciate it. And if you're on fully automated and if you're coming in like once a week even, it doesn't have to happen on the same day that your pitch gets sent out, right? It's just, if you're logging in once a week just to check in on things, just copy and paste it and just post a bunch of reviews for these podcasts and call it a day. All right, I
Do you
think
have
that's
a timing?
it.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we covered
okay.
everything now, because I know that there's all these little nuances that we are taking care of on our end for you. Any other questions before we wrap up here? Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Okay,
Great work.
awesome. I hope you are, because again, we're super excited that this is like cutting edge new stuff, never been done before, and you are riding this ride with us. So we are super grateful that you're here with us, and we're super excited to be a part of your journey as you get your message out there. So thank you for also riding this with us.
Thanks,
And
guys.
if you guys have any questions, come to the town hall. We'll start it in 14 minutes.
Okay.
All
Get
right,
some
guys.
water for your
See you there,
throat.
or have a good
Enjoy.
weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.
Oh, I was just going to say, Sandy just left, but I was going to say, enjoy the rest of your day, Sandy. Oh my gosh.
Aw.
She's so fun. Anyways, okay,
Yes.
see you guys in 15 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Bye, guys.
Bye.